In today's video, I'm going to show you the sitting room, and I'm also going to talk about how I made the choices I made for the decor in the sitting room. Hi, my name's Christine L. Conroy. Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff's Happy Home series. Yes, and today I want you to join me in the sitting room, but the video is in two parts because I do want to talk about how I came to choose the things I chose for the sitting room, and then so I'll show you the planning stage, and then I'll show you give you a tour of the sitting room. So grab yourself a cup of tea, coffee or wine, and let's start the video. Okay, so first of all, when you remember you saw the sitting room when it was empty. This is just a little reminder of what it looked like before. At this point, we'd done the electrical work in there, but we hadn't done anything else, none of the decor or anything. As I've said to you before, and no doubt will continue to say it, we discovered definitely that lighting is key, and in order to get your lighting correct, you need to plan your room right from scratch, because obviously the electrical work gets done before anything else, so you need to have an idea of the layout of your room, hence the importance of planning. But I don't want to show you a plan of the sitting room. What I do want to do is to talk about the kind of things that were going in there, you know, and lots of people have said to me since I started to do this series that very often people think, oh, I wish I could start from scratch. But then those people who do start from scratch say, I find it really difficult. And it's difficult because there is so much choice of everything, from sofas to rugs to light fitments to, light fitments. Don't talk to me about light fitments. But there's just so much choice. It's a problem we have. And it causes people headaches, and sometimes it puts people off wanting to do anything at all because it's so overwhelming. Now, what I said to a lady who put in the comments on one of the videos that she didn't know where to start in terms of colour. Okay, this is how I do it. This is how, interior designers recommend that you do it. Is to start with, say, a rug, for example. Now, I'm not a pattern person, neither in the way I dress, nor in the way we design or in my decor. I prefer kind of one pattern, so a pattern on the rug, plain sofa, plain carpet, or everything else plain, or a patterned sofa and plain carpets. That's the way I go. I know lots of people, and they do it really well, mix patterns and it looks great, but I don't do that. So I would suggest that you find a rug that you like, a patterned rug that you like, and pull colours from that in order to guide you with the rest of your room. Or a painting, if you have a favourite painting, or find a painting that you like and then look at the colours in the painting and choose from there is a great way to start. Now, in saying that, I did none of those things. Similar, not quite, because what started me off on my where I was going with the sitting room was this. This is in my collection of Japanese pottery, and it's a Japanese pot. But what resonated to me with this piece is it's called Earth and Sky. Yeah, you can see that. It's called Earth and Sky, which really resonated with me. You know, I talk about the fact that I'm in this house, I'm designing a house for my soul, and I found that really grounding, earth and sky. Even in meditation, there are some meditations where you meditate on being at one with the earth and with the universe. So I thought this was really great, and I love those colours together. So that was my starting point. Now, I've said to you that I don't like pattern, but I do like fabrics. I do like mixing textures. So I love mixing wool and linens and leather and silks and all of those things. I like to mix all those things to give the interest in a room as opposed to pattern. I enjoy doing it that way. So that's what I want to do. I also love metal. Now, I've told you I don't particularly have a style. I don't fit into any particular style box, as it were, excuse me. But in terms of metal, probably soft industrial, I would say. But I love copper. I absolutely love copper. Now, I think when I try to analyse it, it's something to do with the fact that it is prehistoric. It goes back to prehistoric days. If you look at this, copper was used to make weapons, but also to make beautiful jewellery. It also has incredible antimicrobial properties. And it's sustainable, which is the other thing. It's safe to use. And of course, copper, it comes in a myriad of colours. You can get all kinds of colours from it. So, and it looks amazing and stylish. And so I love copper. And copper is a theme throughout the house. You'll see that. It's a theme throughout the house. So just have a look at this then, because this is, this is when I talk about putting all of this together in the sitting room. This is what we're looking at. So this is the sitting room mood board, shall we say. And what you're looking at there, of course, is the earth and sky theme. And there's my bowl to remind me. Now, I took a picture of this bowl wherever I went, rather than, try to carry the colours. I took a picture of the bowl, which I advise you to do. The unfortunate thing was that when we were doing the sitting room, a lot of the new stuff we bought had to be bought unseen online because we were going through various stages of lockdown. But this is the idea then. So this is how I put together my thoughts of what I was going to do in the sitting room. Now, so you can see there, I wanted leathers, I wanted wool and silk and linen fabrics, and I wanted them in this colour of the bowl. But just those two colours there would be quite heavy. Obviously, I wanted to introduce greenery and nature, to bring nature in a more concrete way, obviously earth and sky, so plants and greenery were going to do that for me. And this was my map. Okay, so you've got the idea then. This is where I was coming from when I was looking for furniture, and then when I was bringing it all together. Now, I do have to warn you that we are not finished, but I thought, if I wait until this house is totally, completely finished to the way I want it to be, we could well not see the whole house until this time next year. Equally with inviting people round to dinner. There's a tendency to want everything to be perfect. No, I haven't done that this time. People know it takes a while, and you understand that too. So there's a gaping great hole in the sitting room. You'll see, waiting for something to go in there. But what I want you to see this first, my mood board, if you like, and then you can see in the flesh how I put it all together. So come on, join me in the sitting room. Okay, welcome to the sitting room. Now, you have to remember, I do not have a team. This is me recording, doing it by myself, trying to be steady so that you can get a decent image. So remember the earth and sky colours and how we put them all together. Okay, so this is the sitting room during the daytime. And as I said to you, we tend not to come in here. Now, if we have guests round or family, then this is a great room to sit and chat. Great conversation room because it's not a huge room, it's neat and cosy. Now, I talked about the different fabrics and I talked about wool. This is Harris tweed, genuine Scottish Harris tweed, which I love. I love the whole story behind Harris tweed. It's a coarse texture. Now, I love it. this is my chair, and it's one of the most comfortable chairs I've ever sat in. It is a love seat, meant to sit two of you. So yeah, that's the blue, that's the love seat, and then across the way there, I've got the sofa, which is a nice, long, low-backed sofa. That's the mid-century modern style coming in, as is also seen in those two chairs. And there we've got it's like a cream linen fabric on the chairs. And then here we have the leather sofa. Now, I've never warmed to leather, let's put it that way. I've always thought it as cold or slippery. This is none of those things. It's squishy and squodgy and lovely and comfortable and warm. I did, when we first got it, I cleaned it or covered it, protected it with leather cream, which took me quite a long time to do. But the sofa itself kind of took on this immediate patina. There's like a soft sheen to it, and slightly changed the colour, just slightly, to a little bit darker, but I love it. And if you look at the coffee table there, how well they blend together. Incidentally, that coffee table is a huge slab of timber, which again, I absolutely love. And that was made for us by a couple on Etsy who are in the middle of making me another larger coffee table at the moment. I will find another use for this one, mark my words. So this then is the sitting room. Yes, that's the fire. Now, if you remember, when you saw the picture before, there was no fire there. And I think for environmental reasons, we're not allowed to have a real fire. That's the only thing that I'm struggling with. But I can remember when we were in Iceland, one of the disappointments we had in the hotel that we stayed in there was no log fire. And there have been rumours that log fires are going to be banned in this country too, again for environmental reasons. How true that is, I don't know. If that rumour wasn't going around, I'd be very tempted to try and get a real fire somehow in here. It's not happening at the moment, but at least we've got a representation of a fire. It does give out heat, of course, but there's no heat coming out of that at the moment, despite the fact that it's turned on. And then above there is the artwork, and we come round to the huge hole, and incidentally that radiator has to go, at least be moved, so that it's not. Of course, if that sofa back was higher, you wouldn't see the radiator anyway, but there you go. The radiator will be moved, and that wall in between the two copper light fitments is just waiting for a piece of artwork. Something's got to hit me, and so far I haven't been inspired by anything we've seen. Copper again. I needed some height. Heights are important, and as that's a low back sofa there, I needed some height, so I've lifted my little tree up there in this copper planter, which goes beautifully right there in the corner. So let me move on around. So we've got the Harris tweed, we've got linen, silk linen blinds at the windows. I've got timber, different woods in here. The fireplace, by the way, at the bottom underneath there, those are cupboards. I don't like a lot of clutter, but when you're sitting, reading and doing things in your sitting room, you need somewhere to put the gubbins, shall we say. Well, they go in that cupboard there, so all the electrical work and so on that we need for the fire and so on is in there. Moving around my lovely love seat. How did I ever live without one before? And then the curator in me, my artwork there. Lovely sculpture in the corner. That's a copper light fitment. I love that. I love it. And then we come down and there is a copper wire pedestal that this artwork is standing on. Now, when we first put this together, it wasn't quite high enough. And so we literally went to the local garden centre and got that piece of stone, which goes perfectly well with the theme in here of earth and sky, and it also has those traces of copper in it. So that worked out quite well for that. You see, and I can change that. I can change that up and put different things on there. It makes an interesting talking point, and look at the shadow on the wall. You see, I love things like that. Okay, so coming round to the large window here, this will have curtains on it soon. And there's the curtain pole is up already, but it's too bright and shiny, that copper. So what I'm going to do is I've got some liver sulfur, I think it's called. I'm going to knock it back a bit before the curtains come to be fit. So that's in there. Remember, I wanted to white out the beams? Turned out beautifully, and there's the light fitment. Again, beautiful copper, which will only get more beautiful with age. Hardly ever turn that on. I hardly ever turn that on. What I want to do, I want to show you this room at night time. So I'll come back. Just let me show you the rug, because that obviously pulls it all together. You can see I've got blues and greys and browns and creams and whites in there, which, as I say, is what pulls everything, or helps to pull everything together. Okay, I'm going to leave you there and come back this evening and show you this room in nighttime lighting. Hi, so it's evening time now, and as the first thing that you can see that we do is these chairs have now been moved back. We move the chairs back when we have no guests coming, when it's just Mr. Kitchen and I, and when we want to come into this room to sit and watch the TV, which is right there above the fireplace. Now, when I've said before that I don't particularly like to stick to interior design rules, this is one that I hope am I straight? Yeah, hope so. This is one, I don't really like the TV to be the focal point in a room, and so having a TV like this solved that problem, because that artwork, I'm sure you've seen these before, the artwork becomes the TV.
These teddy boys are in a collection.
Billy Connolly there. Yeah, so during the daytime then, or when we're not in this room watching television, it's a piece of artwork, which means that the television isn't the focal point in the room. So the light has been dimmed. Incidentally, all my lights all around the house are dimmable. That's something I insisted upon. I just want to get you closer to the wall, because that's the Venetian plaster wall. Now, you can't quite get the measure of it. Let's see as we get closer. It adds this gorgeous, soft texture. And there we had this. Well, I was going to say it's not a mandala. It is, in as much as that all that means is it's a circle. It's a beautiful self pattern within the wall. Let me get you closer, then you can see the texture of it. So that's the texture of the wall. Just the wall at the front, the firewall. And then we have 3 of these circles that were designed. Oh, I just think they're gorgeous. You may not even notice them unless they're pointed out to you. So this is the room lit for the night time. And just look. No, I don't think it's going to come across as stunning as it actually is in real life. But there you can see the spotlight, how effective that gorgeous spotlight is on the sculpture in the corner of the room. And it also leaves this beautiful shadow. I turn it that way a bit. So I don't intend to put anything on that wall, because the curtain's going to be there, come down there. And then I think this piece in the corner needs space for it to stand out. So that's it lit up at night, and I just think it's stunning. It's when people walk in this room after they've noticed the front wall, their eyes turn immediately to the corner. You can see the wall there, where they get a full measure of the sculpture lit up. Okay, so that's the sitting room, folks. I do hope you like it, and it's helped you in terms of how to pull together the colours that you choose. Obviously, you may not choose earth and sky colours, but this is how I pulled all my colours together. Welcome back. So I hope you like my sitting room, because that's where we would sit and chat and debate things if you came to see me in my home. And I also hope it's helped you to think about how to pull different colours together in your own home. Incidentally, just whilst I have you here, please could I ask you, if you haven't done already, to subscribe to the channel. It would really help me if you did. It helps to get the videos out, and I want to continue to do these videos on YouTube, and your subscribing would help me do that. And also give me a thumbs up if the films and the series is helping you. That would also help me too. Okay, so yes, that's the sitting room. And something I didn't mention then, that lovely soft textured Venetian plaster wall is kind of like it's like a creamy colour, not quite cream, a bony, creamy colour. And the white of the walls around it, I wonder whether they are too harsh a white, butting up against that cream colour, although I do love cream and white. I think what I'm going to do is to just paint the walls, not the ceiling, just the walls, a softer white, kind of a bone coloured white, so that it isn't so harsh when it meets against that plaster wall. And of course the painting where the big hole is. And once that's done, I'm going to leave the sitting room. It's, you know, what I like about it is because we spend the daytime in the rest of the house, the kitchen and dining room, which, well, you haven't seen the kitchen yet, but that end of the house, and then where we work in the hallway, this side of the house is kind of daytime, and that's where we go to sit and relax. So because of that, the minute we open the door, or the minute I open the door to go in there, I feel like that. It relaxes me straight away. Okay, tell me in the comments box below what you think, and ask me any questions you might want to know. And you know, I always answer every comment, and I'll see you next time. Until then, remember that on the Happy Stuff and Fluff, we're getting happy, living longer, and growing younger in beautiful homes. See you next time. Bye bye.